Welcome to Stone Hands, to the Hands of Stone. We will dwell into the ancient mysteries. The civilizations that have been in contact with space, that have been in contact with the travelers from the outer spheres of space. Indeed, like the documents by the last Russian Tsar Nikolai II, who was arrested and killed by the communist revolution. He had documents of trading agreements with extraterrestrial civilizations. That's fascinating. But what happened during the Soviet era? Nobody knows. Or it is hidden actually. But one thing that we know, that during the Soviet era there was a huge exploration of psychic powers and out-of-body contacts with other civilizations of evolved beings. But the same occurrences happened around the world, like the UFO contacts that have been documented in the United States of America. But the contact has more older, more ancient origins than we assume nowadays. Okay, there's this popular TV series, The Ancient Aliens, but they have this agenda. They are proposing that we come from Anunnaki, that we descend from kind of a master civilization to which we were slaves. But that is not correct, as human beings are the most powerful beings in this whole universe. Not by our physical powers, not by our spiritual specification, but by our power to feel a wide range of emotions, to feel uttermost sadness and anger, and to feel uttermost bliss and joy. Our bodies have been designed that we could feel, and through the feelings we can experience a range of different qualities in this physical body. So we are a stepping stone to a race that could create universes in a body, because all the previous manifestations of universe have been made through a spiritual body. So it means that the creation of universe by the Godhead, by God itself, has been through a spiritual experience that has created material. But our bodies have been designed in a way that we can start creating universes through our own bodies, that we can embody our being in this physical reality, and at the same time being designing a new planet, designing a new star, or giving birth to a new life. Humans have this innate ability to create a new soul into this life. Yes, mostly when we conceive a baby, we are channeling a soul through the experience of the father and mother as they bring in the soul into the embryo, to the body of mother. But if we are clean enough, if we are spiritual enough, yes, we can conceive a child that has never before had an existence in this universe. Yes, that's quite fascinating topic. And so our race has been in contact with extraterrestrial beings for a long time, as recent archaeological evidence suggests that those megalithic structures are older than 10,000 years, older than 12,000 years, up to 30,000 years goes the list of the names of pharaohs in the Egypt. So there is no doubt that our civilization is older, and we have been in a peak of our civilization, but we have gone through a fall. Yes, an autumn, a period of dying, and a winter when we have forgot our own greatness, and we have created a theories of hunter-gatherers living in this world. Yes, of course, the nuclear wars and cataclysms that we have created as a civilization, through which we have forgotten our innate greatness, have created some societies of hunter-gatherers for a period of time, indeed. But before that, we have been strong race, living almost in the peak of our powers, but we started manipulating our spiritual powers, and from that, we fell from the skies. And our experiment, the experiment of Atlantis, was shut down, which lasted for a long time. But there was other simultaneous experiments or civilizations. It does not have to be an experiment. Like the Ultima Thule, the Hyperborea, a really cosmic race that was a root for the Finno-Aryans or the Vedic civilization. They dwelled in the north for a long time. But in the time of great cataclysm and in the sinking of Atlantis, many representatives of the Ultima Thule, the Hyperborea, left this planet because the vibration became more denser. And the Mayans, or actually the Toltecs, the ancient Mesoamerican race or a civilization, they also had those impacts of Atlantis being destroyed and leaving the planet, but leaving behind a wide spiritual knowledge about the astrology, about the calendar, about cultivating of the crops, as the Amazon, the rainforest. It is planted to cultivate food for the people living in there. It's a living forest. It's a forest garden. But we have forgotten it by the means of our own civilization and the native people living there, tribes. They have just preserved what they have in their own region, but they cannot remember who they were in the past and the full potential of their powers. Of course, they are using some spiritual medicines and living head to head with the nature, but at the same time, they don't want to ascend into this glory, but they want to remain in a primitive way, because their coding has teach them how to preserve the knowledge in a way that is quite primitive, but it's really in touch with the nature. But the old Pelasgians, they were said to be eating the fruits of the world, living many hundred years old, and still having dark hair in the prime of their lives, in the old. And all those civilizations have had contact with the space. They have had contact with extraterrestrial beings as their friends, as their companions, not as as something greater than they are, but as equals. So we have this right to remember, and when the time of the first contact comes, we had the right to make friends with extraterrestrial beings and to share our spiritual knowledge with their spiritual technology, so we could remember who we are and what we are about. So I wish you a good day and goodbye.